What's going on, beautiful people? And thank you guys for tuning in, for watching these videos. I love every single one of you, and I'm grateful that you guys support and subscribe and watch. And let's keep up the good thoughts here. Let's keep up the good vibe. In this video, I want to talk about 444, right? The angel number 444. And I'm already starting to laugh because of the weird shit that happened to me with these specific numbers, 444. And I'll tell you guys the story. So here it goes. Sometime around last year. Was it last? No, it was this year. Right, we're at the end of 2017. It was this year, right? Back in March. Okay, back in March. And I remember this because I had still the craziest, most life-shaking trip I've ever had. 6 grams of mushrooms in darkness in the woods at night with no light but the moonlight. I gotta make a video on that trip. I haven't made a video. I should, because it really is the most life-shaking trip for me. And I'm not gonna talk about it here because that's a whole nother probably 20-minute video altogether. After that trip, a bunch of weird things were happening to me. Synchronicities, you name it, right, left and center. Really, really weird things going on. Weird dreams that would come to become real. That Melissa story, which if some of you guys are aware of, a lot of weird things were happening to me. And then this happens, right? I get up one night, and like someone who is literally abducted by something external, I robotically wake up and I go to my computer. And it's not something I usually do when I wake up. If I wake up, I go get drink, piss, and I go back to bed. That's what I do. Almost every night. It's just in the middle of it, I'll wake up, get some water, take a piss, and come back to bed. That's what I do. I don't go to the computer or anything. But it happened that night, right? And I go to the computer and I look at the clock, and it really feels like I'm not in control at this point. And I look at the clock on the computer and it's 4:44, and I have this goosebump. I just get goosebumps. I'm like, this looks weird as fuck. It just feels weird as fuck. And then I robotically, without thinking, go on Google and I look up, what does 444 mean? And then right away, the first thing that pops up, the answer, it was something like it means your connection with the angelic realm is very strong at the moment. And I was like, oh fuck, this is trippy as fuck. Because within the same time, I had other really weird things happen. So then I really felt this sense of comfort, man. I felt this sense of like, wow. And I was laughing, right? And I was like, wow, this is cool. And I couldn't go back to sleep right away because, you know, it was just really like this magical moment. It was really this magical moment. And I made some tea, and I think I listened to some music and I chilled. Because it was just, I felt really good. I was like, man, like this feels really good. I felt like there's something else that is watching over me, something else that is helping me in my endeavor, in my goals, in whatever, my mission that I'm carrying on here. And I started to have this sense of mission after that trip. And I think along with that sense of mission, I started having these weird things and these synchronistic numbers and synchronistic events happen. So then 2 weeks later, 2 things happen. First thing, one thing. When did Jay-Z's album come out, the 444? I think it was in the summer, right? So anyway, 3 weeks later, I get up in the morning. I haven't, by the way, like since after that, I've just been sleeping. I haven't been even getting up at night. Just for 2 or 3 weeks in a row, I haven't been getting up. Just been getting continuous sleep. Then 3 weeks later, I wake up, and before I wake up, my clock is there. I'm like, why do I have a feeling I'm gonna look at the clock and it's gonna be 4:44? I'm like, okay, I turn the clock on. 4:44, motherfucker. 4:44. this is again me waking up 3 weeks later. I haven't woken up after, not at all, no sleep disturbancy, nothing like that. 3 weeks later, I get up and I'm looking, and I know it's gonna be 4:44, man. It's like I know at like a deep level. I'm like I know I'm gonna turn that clock over and it's gonna be 4:44. And then I turn the clock over and it's 4:44. And I was like, yeah, that at that point, because of the incredible amounts of synchronicities and all of these weird things happening in the dreams that I was getting that were manifesting into reality almost immediately, and weird things. It's almost like my I think what happened in that 6-gram trip was my pineal gland, my third eye, if you want to call it, whatever it is, was so mind blown that I started getting fucking insane amount of dreams that would happen in my real life. I would call people and know what's going on with their life right now, like just based on the emotion that they've sort of showed in the dream. It's really crazy, really crazy. And I tell stories. If you go back to my old videos, I tell some really crazy stories that I'll tell again for people who are new to this. But I don't, by the way, those abilities, they've lessened now. But at that time, it was almost like I was going through what they call an awakening, I guess, right? A spiritual awakening of some sort, right? Now I don't have the same, or I have the same abilities, I'm not too interested in them anymore. But at the time, really, because I was like waking up to who I am really at heart, my true essence, myself, and the nature of reality, and how it's a simulation, and it's just this trip, this thing we come here to experience, to learn, to spread love, and then we try to make this game as best as we can. We try to mimic heaven on earth, on this game, the earth game, and then we sort of get out of it. But at the time, I guess I was going through this awakening, so all these crazy things were happening. And along with it, this 444 shit, which still freaks me out, because I think 3 weeks later, or somewhere around that time, Jay-Z's album comes out, 444, right? And I think he said in that song, he named it that because he woke up at 444 and he wrote one of the songs or something, right? Like he wrote like the best track in the album or something like that. I don't know, you guys probably know more about this than that. But really weird things. And then at the same time, my brother and his friend kept sending me, and I kept seeing it too, like things were at discount in grocery stores. Like it would be a certain price and it would be like scratch for 444. And what the fuck? Who prices their shit 444? And it was going on at that time. It's I haven't seen that in grocery stores anymore. But there was a lot of appearance of 444 for like a good 2-3 month period. I just kept seeing 444 everywhere. 444 everywhere. 444 everywhere. Now I see it every now and then. But at the time, it was like crazy, man. Like it's you wouldn't believe it. And I understood this to be something. I did some research on what does 444 mean. And apparently, I mean, all these numbers, I think they're a good sign, period. If you get them, it's a good sign. You're being watched over. Keep going. I think people make too much of it. I think people, 444, yeah, maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. Right? I think if you see a number over and over, like 333 or 444 or 1111, take it as a good sign. You're in the right track and keep going. Don't have to overthink it. But I did some research on 444, and I think what it was is the angels are with you in your financial and earthly aspirations, right? So earthly aspirations meaning I want to get 1 million subscribers. I want to, make X amount of money. Earthly things, right? Things of earthly nature. And apparently 444 is the number for that. And it kind of made sense to me at the time because I told you that 6-gram trip has awakened in me and still is with me a sense of mission. That I'm on a mission and I have to accomplish this mission. So I think it makes sense because now my mission is earthly. I have to do this here. And so and of course my mission goes beyond just a number like 1 million subscribers. I have a much bigger vision now and a bigger mission, and I want to establish a community at some point, an off-grid community, but that's not for now anyway. But I think it makes sense that I start seeing 444 specifically if it's a number that is associated with financial security and earth things of earthly nature, things of grounding nature, it makes sense because my sense of mission has just awakened. And I guess along with it, the angels are saying, all right, we're gonna help you in your mission, right? It's good, you've now woken up and we're gonna help you in your mission. So it was really amazing, you know, again, experimental. This is just my experience with it, right? And I don't get 444 as much anymore. When I do, it's really nice because I usually, like, I got it maybe 3 or 4 days ago on my oven clock, which is completely off, by the way. It's completely off. Like it doesn't, you know, it's not the right clock whatsoever. And I came down and I was like feeling a little bit down, and I look at the clock, I'm like 444. I'm like, fuck yeah, I felt good, right? I don't get it as much, but at that time it was happening all over the place. So anyway, I think when you get numbers like that, 444, 333, 1111, take it as a good sign. Don't overthink it too much. It's a good sign. You're on the right track. Keep going, okay? That's it. Check out my free book, 5 Powerful Habits to Dominate Life in All Areas. And I'm also looking forward to writing my... we'll talk about my other book. I'm still in the process of writing it. And other than that, I love you guys. Love every single one of you. But don't forget to subscribe or you're going to sleep with the fishes.